iSkateCoach. We're going to show you a forward outside 3-turn in this video. But first of all, this is what it is. It's a 1-foot glide forward, and then it's going to flip round to backwards. It's quite a big challenge for new skaters, so I'm going to show you how I build this up from scratch. So I'm going to start on the wall first of all, and what I'm going to do is try and show you how to rotate from top to bottom to set this up. So just facing side onto the wall, I'm going to bring my opposite hand over to create a bit of twist here, and then rotate my hips around like so. And we can do this both ways. We can start this moving on 2 feet first of all, and then when you're happy, I would suggest you start with the leg nearest the barrier, just because it's a little bit easier, because you're closer, you can hold the wall. Shoulders twist, same way, and then the hips follow to turn the foot. Shoulders twist, and then on 1 foot, the hips follow. Eventually, you can let go of the wall and spend a little bit less help with the wall. So I might glide along, just use the one hand, and then maybe push off at the end so I can get my balance. Again, gliding along, maybe just one finger this time, and I'm off. So you use this for as much as you need, but try not to rely on it. You want to be leaning on the wall and really trying to, like if it wasn't there, you'd have no chance out here. So when we take it out here, the next progression is to spend as little time as possible on 1 foot. So in order, head, shoulders at first to rotate. I'm still on 2 feet when I first start this. I'm going to very quickly lift my foot as I do the turn. I'm back to 2 feet. It's nice and safe when you first leave the wall. So once again, head and shoulders twist first, very quick lift, and back down. Now, after a few goes, you can make this a bit longer, so I can rotate in, set myself up, lift, maybe glide a bit further, and hold the glide after as well, and then down into 2 feet. Common problem people get with the first get the 3-turn, they can flick the foot round, but it drops almost straight away. And this is why you're just getting used to where your weight should be while gliding backwards. So what I suggest you do, if that's happening, is after the turn, your foot goes down, you pick it back up again. If it goes down, you pick it back up again. And every time, you keep picking it back up. What you're telling your body and your leg is this is where you should have been. And if your weight's too far in, you can think about leaning out, resetting that balance point, and eventually, you'll figure it out. You'll go to step down, you won't need to, because you've corrected it so many times, you'll have come back over the side that you should have been on, okay? Points of the blade. When you do a 3-turn, you should have a very slight knee bend. So what happens when you turn is you rock slightly forward to what's called the rocker. It's about here on your blade. It's not the toe pick, so it's not this. That's too far. It's just from the, I'm kind of gliding on the back third here. I bend my knee and rock to the rocker and come back down again from there. So I'm going from the back middle to the rocker and back down again to make the turn happen. When you first learn a 3-turn, it is a very shallow curve. It has to be a curve though. It's very, very tricky to do this in a straight line and keep your balance after you've turned in a straight line. So it should, I mean, you can use something like you can put a line on the ice, or there's a nice hockey goal here. So I can use this as a good curve in, head and shoulders, rocking on the foot with that little knee action there will help me curve round quite nicely. Both ways, make sure you try it both ways. Generally speaking, on the way in then, if I'm on a curve, my weight will be slightly inside the circle. And after the turn, I want to be slightly leaning out to hold that inside edge and keep my balance there. So on a deeper curve, weight's going in and weight's staying out just slightly so I can keep my balance on 1 foot. The free leg, once I push off, this is going to be nicely extended. I'm going to bring the free leg in to do the turn, and then you can finish it off with a nice extension, or you can just keep it in after the turn. And there's various types of 3-turns, but for this video, we'll just keep it as a beginner outside 3-turn. just a real quick recap. I'm pushing on a curve, I'm on a bent knee, and my feet are apart to start with. They come together as I rotate head and shoulders, and then I rock forward as I come up on my knee to make the turn and see if I can hold it on the end, just like that. Common problems you'll come across with the outside 310. First one is swing. So sometimes you get to a point where you're holding it, but then everything keeps going and spinning. So to combat that, we need to check your 310. What checking means is your shoulders are going to come back in the opposite direction to the way you're trying to turn your 310. So on this foot, if I'm turning my foot left, some part of my body, in this case I'm going to show you the shoulders, is going to come back in the opposite direction and stop that rotation. It has to be an equal amount so it cancels out. If one or the other wins, you still have swing. So if I don't check enough, it's still going to be there. If I check too much, it might even go and change the edge, which is not what we're after for that 3 shape on the ice. So checking, we can use the hip to open as well. That's another part of your body you can pull back in the opposite direction, as well as your shoulders. And there's also an option to fight against the swing. So if you're still swinging, you can really push that front arm, shoulder forward and fight against it. And you should, when you first learn, you should fight to control it, because in the end, you won't need to fight. You'll just turn your 3 and you'll be in the right position. You'll know where it is because you fight. If you keep giving up, you'll never get it. You'll constantly swing, so it's not good. Sometimes when people learn the 310, they push to turn instead of, the correct technique is to push to glide, find a nice edge, and then create the tension you need to do the turn. Some beginners, when they first learn the 310, they rely on the push to turn. And that's not quite what we're after, because we want to be able to skate around, get onto an edge, and then because you choose to, you can create what you need to do that 310. It shouldn't ever really come from a push around. That's not considered the right way to do it. When you first learn your 310, you might find it's just kind of a little bit on the spot like this. And that's fine. Like I said, we'll try and eventually get a longer glide, push, glide, and then rotate. Now, it's quite tricky to do that straight away, so it's a good idea that you practice your forward outside edges so you're very comfortable gliding on one foot on a curve, forward and backwards. And then you can just add that skill, add that balance you've got there to both sides of the 310. So, just coming back to the hockey goal, I think if I show you like 3 levels, here's level 1, here's level 2, and level 3. Now for all of these, the goal is to get the turn somewhere in the middle of those curves. So I'm going to draw 2 lines, and we're going to do a bit of target practice for you, because quite often you might be able to do like a long first glide and then the second part's really short, or you might go and do a short first glide, but you find you can hold it longer at the end. And it should be even, it should be about the same. So level 1, if I start here, I'm going to try and do my turn timed in the middle and round, and then progress to a slightly bigger circle, do my turn in the middle and come round. And I think if you can do this on your hockey circle in your rink, it's a really good measure of control that you've nailed your 310. It's a good equal glide, both sides, and don't forget to do both feet as well, and glide all the way in. Okay, give that a try.